Hello, my dear student. Good morning to all. Today, we are going to start a new chapter. Just listen this sound and you guess which chapter I'm going to start today. So, my dear student, you heard a sound. What does this sound reminds you? Can you tell? Of course, you can tell because this sound reminds you the Indian wedding and also it reminds you the auspicious occasion. Okay, so today we are going to start Prose second chapter, second part, and the chapter name is The Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. In first part, we studied about Abilene Glenning, and in this second part, we will study all about the great classical Indian shehnai maestro, famous Bismillah Khan. Okay, let's start the chapter. Let me introduce the important character of this chapter. Important character of this chapter. Important character. Okay. So important character of this chapter are सबसे पहले the first one is what Bismillah Ustad Bismillah Khan. What Bismillah Khan, a famous Indian shehnai master. A famous Indian shehnai player or maestro. You know. Second is Rasul Bucks. Rasul Bucks is what grandfather of Bismillah. Okay. Second important, the next important character is what Ali Bucks. Ali Bucks is maternal uncle of Bismillah Khan. Okay. Now come to the another one. Paigambar Bucks. Paigambar Bucks is father of Bismillah Khan. and Aurangzeb, Mughal Emperor. Okay, these are the important character of this chapter. So the story moves around these all five characters. We will understand one by one. Okay, and I'm going to read the para and then I will let you know the important and the difficult words. And after that, I will make you understand. I will give you easy explanation of the various paragraphs given in this story. Let's start. So you know that shehnai reminds us the Indian wedding and also the auspicious occasion. But what is the story behind this? We will come to know through this chapter. Okay, let's start and read the para. So just open your chapter and read the para along with me. Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of musical instrument called pungi in the royal residence for it had a shrill, unpleasant sound. Pungi became the generic name for reeded noisemaker. Few had thought that it would one day be revived. A barber of a family of the professional musician who had access to the royal palace decided to improve the tonal quality of the pungi. He chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem that was longer and broader than the pungi and made 7 holes on the body of the pipe. When he played on it, closing and opening some of these holes, soft and melodious sound were produced. He played the instrument before royalty and everyone was impressed. The instrument so different from the pungi had to be given a new name. As the story goes, since it was first played in the Shah's chamber and was played by a nai, which one is barber, the instrument was named the shehnai. Okay, so let me tell you the typical words of this para. It is what the band. The first difficult word is band. Band means what restricted. Band means what restricted. To stop something. Okay. Next difficult word is what shrill. Shrill means what piercing. Piercing. Piercing means what? Not melodious sound, not good sound. That means unpleasant sound you can say also. And here, so these two words were difficult over here. Now try to understand the para. So Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of music instrument called pungi. You know, he was a very, he banned the Mughal Empire. You know very well about Aurangzeb, how he was. You are well known about the nature of, the nature of what Aurangzeb. He was very much a strict person. Okay, so he just banned, he restricted playing of pungi. Why he restricted? Because it had a very unpleasant sound. The sound of pungi was not good at all. That is why he banned, especially in the royal residence, for it had a still unpleasant sound, especially in royal family. Okay. Pungi became the generic name for the reeded noisemaker, and it became famous by a name noisemaker. So Pungi is not considered a good instrument. That is why it was banned. It was restricted to play in any royal residence. Few had thought it would one day be revived. A barber of the family of professional musician. But there was a barber who used to go to palace, or you can say royal family. So he had access to the royal palace and he decided to improve the quality of pungi. He decided that he will improve the quality of the pungi, and that is why he chose a pipe with natural hollow stem, and he just made 7 holes on it, on the body of the pipe, and finally he presented before royalty, and everyone was impressed. The barber made a new kind of musical instrument. This was advanced form of pungi, and he played it before the royal members. And the sound of pungi, the sound of the instrument, new instrument, which was made by the nai, was melodious. So everyone got impressed, and that is why this shehnai, this instrument, was given a special name. The name was given shehnai. Why this new kind of instrument is given the name shehnai? Because it was first played in the sound chamber, and it was made by a nai or the barber. That is why you can say also it is given already. It was first played in the sound chamber and was played by a nai, that means a barber. That is why it is given name shehnai. Okay. First played in, you can write over here, shehnai. Why it is given the name shehnai? Because it was first played in sound chamber. First played in shower chambers and played by a nine. Nine is what? Barber. So this is the story behind the name given to this instrument. Why it is given the name of shehnai? The new instrument is given name shehnai because it was first played in sound chamber, and it was played by a nai first time. Okay. Now let me move to the another para. At first, we will do the reading session. We will have the reading session like earlier. The sound of the shehnai began to be considered auspicious. Auspicious means what? Holy. Good fortune, you can say also. And for this reason, it is still played in chambers and in an indispensable component of any North Indian wedding. In the past, the shehnai was part of noble or traditional ensembles of 9 instruments found at royal courts. Till recently, it was used only in temples and weddings. The credit for bringing this instrument onto the classical stage goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. You know, my dear student, because the sound of because the sound of shehnai was so melodious. So it was It is started playing. It started playing in the temples, and it became very important part of Indian North wedding function. Okay, so it was considered auspicious, holy. That is why it became very much important, and it started playing in temples as well as in the North Indian wedding. But earlier, it was the part of only royal court. There was few instruments in the royal assembly, in the royal family, in which it was one of the famous among nine. But later on, it became not only the part of the royal family, it became also the important part of auspicious occasion, especially played in temples and North Indian wedding ceremony. Okay. Now, next para is given over here. As a 5 years old, Bismillah Khan played Gilli Danda near a pond in the ancient state of Jumrao in Bihar. He would regularly go to nearby Bihariji temple to sing the Bhojpuri Chata, at the end of which he would earn a big laddu, weighing, weighing of 1.25 kg, a prize given by the local Maharaja. This happened 80 years ago, and the little boy has traveled far to earn the highest civilian award in India, the Bharat Ratna. You know, the credit goes to Bismillah Khan, Ustad Bismillah Khan, because it is the man who made shehnai very much famous. That is why the credit for bringing this instrument like the shehnai goes to the credit to bringing this instrument onto the classical stage goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. Now we'll understand some story or something more about the Ustad Bismillah Khan childhood. Okay, so as a 5 years old, when he was 5 years old, Bismillah Khan, so he used to play gilli danda near the pond in ancient state of Jumrao in Bihar. Jumrao is a place in Bihar state. So he used to play gilli danda there when he was only 5 years small kid. He would regularly go to the nearby Bihariji temple to sing the Bhojpuri Chata. Actually, from his childhood, he used to sing the song. So, because he used to play gilli danda near the pond in the ancient state of Dumrao in Bihar. So, he would regularly go to nearby temples also, and the temple name is what Bihariji temple. Why he used to go there? He used to go to Bihariji temple to sing a song which is known as what Cheta. Cheta is a kind of song which is sung in the month of Chet. Okay, and because he was a very good singer, so at the end he would earn a big laddu, of which 1.25 kg as a prize by the local Maharaja. Because everyone got impressed by these chaita sung by Ustad Bismillah Khan. So, as a prize, he was given 1.25 kg laddu as a prize. This happened 80 years ago, and the little boy has traveled far to earn the highest civilian award in India, the Bharat Ratna. And slowly and slowly, he became very much famous, and at the end, he was awarded. He was awarded with the highest civilian award, which is known as what? Bharat Ratna. So he was awarded the highest civilian award in India, the Bharat Ratna. Born on 21st March 1960, Bismillah belonged to a well-known family of musicians from Bihar. His grandfather, Rasul Baksh Khan, that already I made you understand, was the shehnai Nawaz of Bhojpuri King's court. His father, Paigambar Baksh, and other paternal ancestors were also great shehnai players. He was not only the shehnai player or the singer or the instrument player. His ancestors were also a very famous shehnai players. Okay, so he got a skill of playing shehnai from his parents also, from his paternal ancestors also. Okay, so here the difficult word is what? Well known. Well known. What is the meaning of the well known? Well known means what? Popular. Well known. Well known means what? Popular. Now the next word, paternal ancestor. Paternal ancestor, father side ancestors. Okay, it is what? Paternal. Paternal ancestor. Ancestor of father. Okay. So Bismillah Khan was born on 21st March 1916 and he was belonged to a very popular family of musicians. So he got so many skills from his paternal ancestors. You know, his paternal ancestors were also a very great shehnai players. So you can understand how much he got skills from his paternal ancestors. The young boy took the music early in life. At the age of 3, when his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Benares, his maternal uncle is what? Mama. So when he was only 3 years, his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house, which was in Varanasi. Okay. Bismillah was fascinated watching his uncle practice the shehnai. Fascinated means what? Attracted. So he got attracted towards the playing of shehnai, which was played by his maternal uncle. So Bismillah was attracted watching his uncles practicing the shehnai. Soon Bismillah started accompanying his uncle Ali Baksh. What was the name of his mama or maternal uncle? Ali Baksh. To the Vishnu temple of Benares, where Baksh was employed to play the shehnai. Ali Baksh would play the shehnai and Bismillah would sit captivated for hours on end. Slowly, he started getting lessons in playing the instrument and would sit practicing throughout the day. For years to come in the temple of Balaji and Mangala Maya, and the bank of the Ganga became the young apprentice's favorite haunts where he could practice in solitude. The flowing water of Ganga inspired him to improvise and invent ragas that were earlier considered to be beyond the rang of Shehnai. Okay, so let me write down here the difficult words of this para. The first difficult word of this para is what? Fascinated. Fascinated means what? Attracted. Fascinated means attracted. Next difficult word is what? Captivated. What is the meaning of captivated? Captivated means what? To be charmed, to attracted. Its meaning is also to be charmed or attracted for something. Okay. Now here is what apprentice. To learn. Apprentice means what? Training, or you can say what? To learn. Solitude means what? Lonely. Solitude means lonely. Akela. Okay. Alone. So when he was only 3 years old, Bismillah Khan, his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house, which was situated in Varanasi. And Bismillah was fascinated. He was attracted watching his uncle practice the shehnai. He was attracted towards the shehnai because in Varanasi, in his nanny house or mama house, he saw shehnai was being played by his maternal uncle. So he also uh, he thought that he will also learn how to play the shehnai, and that is why he started going to temple also. The temple was Vishnu temple, which was also situated in Banaras. So Ali Baksh, that means his maternal uncle, to the Vishnu temple of Banaras, where Baksh was employed to play the shehnai. Because Ali Baksh was employed there in that Vishnu temple to play the shehnai. So he always used to go along with his maternal uncle to Vishnu temple, and later on he started going also Balaji and Mangla Maya temples also. And the bank of the Ganga became the young apprentice's favorite haunts where he could practice in solitude. And he started going to also the Ganga river. He used to go to the bank of the Ganga river, and there he started practicing how to play the shehnai along with his maternal uncle, because he was attracted by the melodious sound of the shehnai. So he decided to learn how to play shehnai, and he started practicing shehnai, and slowly he became very much famous. He became ustad. He got mastery over how to play shehnai. And the flowing water of the Ganga inspired him to improvise and invent ragas that were earlier considered to be beyond the ragas of shehnai. Okay, so the flowing water used to give him inspiration, and that is why he found so many new rags, okay, which was not easy. Now come to the another para. At the age of 14, Bismillah accompanied his uncle to Allahabad music conference. At the end of his recital, Ustad Fayaz Khan patted the young boy's back and said, "Work hard and you shall make it." With the opening of All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938 came Bismillah's big break. He soon became an often heard shehnai player on radio. You know, at the age of 14, when Bismillah Khan was only 14 years old, he got a chance to go to Allahabad Music Conference. He got a chance to attend a musical conference. The name of the conference was Allahabad Music Conference. And he went, he got this opportunity to go there with his uncle, and he went there. And at the end, he was appreciated by Ustad Fayaz Khan. He just patted his back and he said, what he said? He said, hard work and you shall make it. Yes. Because ultimately, Ustad Fayaz Khan got impressed by Ustad Bismillah Khan, 14 years boy Bismillah Khan, and that is why he appreciated. And he became so famous that in 1998, All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938 came Bismillah's big break. He got an opportunity to be part of All India Radio and very soon he became an often heard shehnai player on radio. He started giving his program, he started giving his presentation, or he started playing shehnai in All India Radio. He became very important part of All India Radio, and we often heard shehnai player, this shehnai player. Now, when India gained independence on 15 August 1947, Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to greet the nation with his shehnai. He was the first Indian who played the famous shehnai at the very auspicious occasion. You know very well, 15th August is a very important day for us because we got independence on this day. So he became the first Indian to greet the nation with shehnai. He poured his heart, he gave his best out into Rag Kafi from the Red Fort to an audience, which included Mahatma Gandhi and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who later gave his famous Christ with Destiny speech. And he greeted the nation on the very auspicious day on Independence Day on 15 August 1947, and he impressed everyone. And at the end, Mahatma Gandhi and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who later gave his famous Christ and Destiny speech, he gave also the speech. That means we can say Ustad Bismillah Khan was the first Indian shehnai player who greeted the nation on the very special day with his shehnai, and he gave his best, and he he poured his heart. Poured his heart means what? Devoted himself completely. That means he gave his best to greet the nation by playing shehnai. Now here is what the difficult word is what that I'm going to write over here. Let me write. Okay. Here is what poured his heart. What is the meaning of poured his heart? Poured his heart means devoted himself, devoted himself closely, or you can say completely. Poured his heart means devoted himself closely or completely, entirely. Devotion, you can say also. And to greet means what? To welcome. What is the meaning of to greet? To greet means what? To welcome. To welcome. Okay. Bismillah Khan has given many memorable performances both in India and abroad. His first trip abroad was to Afghanistan. First time he gave his performance in Afghanistan. In foreign country, it was the Afghanistan where he first gave his performance, where King Jahir Shah was so taken in by the maestro that he gifted him priceless Persian carpets and other souvenirs. The king of Afghanistan was not the only one to be fascinated with Bismillah's music. Film director Vijay Bhatt was impressed after hearing Bismillah's play at the festival that he named a film after the instrument called Gunj Uthi Shehnai. He became a very famous face in the field of shehnai. So he gave his first performance in abroad in the country was Afghanistan. And the king of that Afghanistan became the king Jahir Shah became very much impressed. He got impressed by the playing of shehnai of Ustad Bismillah Khan, and that is why the king gave him so many priceless, valuable rights to Bismillah Khan. And so it was not only the king of Afghanistan who got fascinated with Bismillah's music. There were so many people who got impressed by the playing of shehnai of Bismillah Khan. There was a person who was the film director Vijay Bhatt. He was also so impressed after hearing the Bismillah's play. He became very much impressed after listening to Bismillah's Khan's Shehnai, and that is why he named it. He named a film of the film was okay. So festival that he named a film after the instrument called Gunjuki Shehnai. The director Vijay Bhatt, film director Vijay Bhatt was so impressed that he kept a name of his famous film. He kept, he gave a name to his famous film Gunj Uthi Shehnai because he was so impressed by the playing of Bismillah Khan. Okay, the film was a hit and one of Bismillah Khan's compositions, and the film got popularity also. Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya. You know, the film was a hit and one of the Bismillah Khan's composition. There is a one song also. What? Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya. Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya. You must have heard this song, okay? It is very old song. Turned out to be nationwide chartered trust. It became very much famous. Despite this huge success in the celluloid world, that means in cinematic world, you can say, or filmy world, you can say, Bismillah Khan ventures in the film music were limited to two. He became very much famous. He got so much popularity in this song and the music, Bon Duty Shehnai, but still he was limited up to only two movies, Vijay Bhatt's Bon Duty Shehnai and Vikram Srinivas Kannada venture Sandhi Apanna. So he only participated Bon Duty Shehnai Ustad, Bismillah Khan only participated in two movies, and the first one was What Go Yuki Shehnai of Vijay Bhatt, and the second was Vikram Srinivas Kannada movie, and the name of the movie was Sandhi Apanna. Because he said that he just can't come to terms with the artificiality and the glamour of the filmy world. He says with emphasis because he did not like the glamour of the filmy world. That is why he did not move ahead in the film industry. Okay, so he was limited only up to the two movie. Now, here the difficult words are, you can see over here, the difficult words in this para is what? Chapter buster. There is what? Record breaker. Chart buster. Chart buster means what? Record breaker. That means he got so much popularity, and after doing two movies, he got so much popularity. He became very much famous in film industry also. Celluloid word you can see here, celluloid. That means cinema word you can see, or film industry you can see. In the world of film, filmy world you can say also, filmy world. Okay. Now here is what ventures, or here you can say what glamour. Glamour means what form. Here the next one is what emphasis. Forcefully. Emphasis means what? Forcefully. So because he did not like the glamorous world of filmy industry, that is why he did not participate. He did not um, took part in next movie. Now come to the next para. Award and recognition came back thick and fast. Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to be invented to perform at the prestigious Lincoln Center Hall in the United States of America. So he was the first Indian who participated, who was invited to perform at the prestigious means what? Famous Lincoln Center Hall, which was situated in the United States of America. He also took part in the World Exposition in Montreal, in Cannes Art Festival, and in the Osaka Trade Fair. He not only participated, he not only gave his performance at the prestigious Lincoln Center Hall, but he also participated in Osaka Trade Fair. So well known that he became internationally that an auditorium in Tehran was named after him. Tahar Masik Ustad Bismillah Khan, you know. He became very much famous not only in India but in the abroad also. That is why in Tehran it was given a name after him, Tahar Masik Ustad Bismillah Khan. Now, it means here he became so famous in the foreign also that in Tehran, one stadium was given a name. The name of that stadium was kept Tahar Mosik Ustad Bismillah Khan. National awards like the Padma Shri, the Padma Bhushan, and the Padma Vibhushan were conferred on him. He was not awarded for the greatest civilian award Bharat Ratna, but he was also awarded with Padma Shri, the Padma Bhushan, and the Padma Vibhushan. He was so famous personality. In 2001, Ustad Bismillah Khan was awarded India's highest civilian award when he was awarded with this Bharat Ratna award in 2001. So Bismillah Khan was awarded with highest civilian award, Bharat Ratna in 2001. With the coveted award resting on his chest and his eyes glinting with rare happiness, he said, all I would like to say is teach your children music. This is Hindustan's richest tradition. Even the West is now coming to learn our music. So when he was awarded with the greatest or the highest civilian award, Bharat Ratna in 2001, he got an opportunity to speak something, to address to the audience something on the stage, and he just addressed to the audience. What was the address given by Ustad Bismillah Khan? He requested to all, he said that he requested to all to teach their children music because this is Hindustan richest tradition. So according to Ustad Bismillah Khan, music was the Hindustan's richest tradition. That is why he made a request to all the auditions, to all the listeners, to all the people to give training to teach their children music because he said also today everyone started understanding the importance of the music, and that is why even the foreigners, even the West, that means even the foreigner coming to learn our music to India, they are participating. So if the foreigners are taking interest in the music, why not we? So we must give training. Uh, we must teach our children music because ultimately it is our greatest or the richest Hindustan's tradition. Okay, so he made a request there. Let me read the last para. In spite of having traveled all over the world, Khan Saab, as he is fondly called, is exceedingly fond of Banaras and Dumrao. You know, Dumrao is in Bihar. And they remained for him the most wonderful town of the world. A student of his once wanted him to lead a shehnai school in the USA. You know, he loved his country very much, especially he had a great love from, he had a great love, he had a great love with Banaras and the Dubra. A student of his once wanted him to head a shehnai school in the USA, and the student promised to recreate the atmosphere of Banaras by replicating the temples there. But Khan Saab asked him if he would be able to transport river Ganga as well. Later he is remembered to have said, that is why whenever I am in foreign country, I keep yearning to see Hindustan. While in Mumbai, I think of only Banaras and the Holy Ganga. And while in Banaras, I miss the unique matha of Dubrau. He was fond of matha of Dubrau and he loved two places in India. The first one was Varanasi and the second one was Dubrau. So one of the student of Ustad Bismillah Khan once requested him to become the part of shehnai school in USA. A student of Ustad Bismillah Khan requested Ustad Bismillah Khan to head a school, a shehnai school in USA. But Khan Saab, that means Ustad Bismillah Khan, denied to go there. And you know, his student also promised him that he will give the entire environment which was in Varanasi. But Khan Saab did not ready. Khan Saab was not ready because he had a great love for his country. So he asked to his student, can you bring Ganga River also in USA? And it was not possible at all. So he just rejected this proposal given by his student, and he said that he always missed 2 or 3 places. Let me finish the last para. Ustad Bismillah Khan's life is a perfect example of the rich cultural heritage of India, one that effortlessly accepts that a devout Muslim like him can very naturally play the shehnai every morning at the Kashi Vishwanath temple. And it was very, we can say, he was the perfect Ustad Bismillah Khan was the perfect example of cultural heritage of India because he was the person who naturally played the shehnai every morning at the Kashi Vishwanath temple. Let me read the last line. Ustad Bismillah Khan passed away on 21st August 2006 at the age of 90 after prolonged illness. So he was given a state funeral and government of India declared one day of national mourning. Okay, so he was very famous face, and finally he gave his best every time, and at the end, at the age of 90, on 21st August of 2006, after a prolonged illness, he was passed away. He passed away. Okay, that means he died. He paid the death of the nature. Ustad Bismillah Khan passed away on 21st August 2006, and that is why the government of India also declared one day of national mourning. Okay, that means here mourn means what you can say sorrow, the grief you can say also. So it was declared a national mourn day. Thank you very much. This was all about this class. If you have any doubt regarding this difficult word meaning, kindly write to me. I will let you know the difficult words.